Well, if you guys have been waiting for a rant from me, well, you couldn't have picked a better time to click on this video, because that's what you're about to get. Yeah, you're about to get one. Because, you know, it's one thing. it's one thing for EDD or EBT or whoever, Social Security, whoever. It's one thing to offer you the chance to have some financial support, especially when you're going through a pandemic, or you just lost your job, or whatever the case may be. You know, it's one thing for them to do that. But, however, it's a completely another thing for them not to tell you, that you need to make a certain amount of money to get unemployment. That you need to make a certain amount of 15 to 13,000, not thousand, but 13 to 1,500, whatever the number is. It's another thing for them to tell you you need to make that to qualify. EDD, it don't matter what state you represent. It don't matter. It don't matter if you represent California. It don't matter if you represent New York. It don't matter if you represent West Virginia, Kentucky, Florida, Kansas, Texas, Minnesota. It don't matter. All EDD is the same. They are people, their own organization, that needs to get the shit together. Yeah. They need to get their shit together. And you know why? You know why? Because when you have a lot of people lose their jobs, whether they're let go due to layoffs, financial layoffs, either they're let go because of a little bit of a mistake that, yeah, they take responsibility for, but the company should know better. Hey, maybe we should suspend them instead of firing them. you know, it's one thing for them to be there for you when any of that happens, so you can have some financial substance. It's one thing. It's one thing for them. It's one thing for them to do that. But the thing is, they're all the same. They'll give you an opportunity to have money in your pocket after you lose your job. Either you're let go because of layoffs, you're let go because you're terminated, you're fired, even over a little mistake, or whatever the case may be. It's one thing to do that. However, it's another not to help you continue to have financial substance when your claim expires. You see, folks, my claim, my first initial claim with them, expired around the 11th and the 12th. And it wasn't just because of the extension. It wasn't just because of the PUA. It was my regular claim. And what's funny is they allow me to reclaim or refile, which I do. And what's funny, what's so funny is they let me refile. They give me a new card, which they gave everybody else, a chip card. They give me information saying you're basically Cool, you're ready to go. And then this past week, I do the waiting period. Because last week was the start of the new claim. So, I start the waiting period. And I wait. And I wait. And I wait. And I wait. And then we get to the 8th day in which I'm supposed to get paid. No payment. And then I get the reason why. There was a stoppage. Now the first lady I talked to seemed to be very understanding. She seemed very understanding. Hey, we're going to help you out. We'll get you through this. We'll see if we can get this fixed and get you your money. So I hold to go and talk to a specialist that specializes in making that happen. I hold. And I hold. For 2 hours, I hold. And then the lady comes on. She asked me the same questions the other lady asked. And I give her the answers. And she looks it up. And she says, unfortunately, you're disqualified. And for what reason? What reason? What reason? Because I didn't make $1,300 last year. I didn't make enough in the past year when I had my initial claim to get a new claim. To get money back on the certification. Now, what's funny is I still have a claim year in front of me. And all I know for right now is I was disqualified. I was disqualified for the first 2 initial weeks. Now, I don't know if that means if I recertify again, that I'll be fine. But according to this lady, there's nothing I can do. I'm done. It's over. I can file a new claim. Maybe. But I'm done. She said, basically she made it sound like that even though I could recertify on the 10th for the next 2 weeks, or for the previous 2 weeks, that's not going to matter. Because I didn't make enough. I didn't make enough to get unemployment. In EDD, like I said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what state you represent. You need to get your act together. Because there are more than just me. There are more people out there, thousands if not millions of people that need unemployment, that need money. And when you decide to pull a stunt like this and not tell people that they need to make a certain amount, even though they try to apply for work day in and day out, week after week, you tell them that they can't get any unemployment because they didn't make enough? Let me ask you this, EDD. How are they supposed to make enough when we're all, each and every one of us, is going through a fucking pandemic? How are we supposed to do that? I ask you, how are we supposed to do that, EDD? We can't. We can't do it. You know why? You know why? Because not every job, big, small, medium, is hiring. Because I'm not sure what that person is going to bring to the table. Whether that person's vaccinated, whether that person doesn't believe in the vaccination, whether they can risk people, they don't know. And sure, a lot of places are hiring right now. But they're taking their time. They're reluctant. And you know what, EDD? You have no one to blame but yourselves. You can say it's the fault of the people for not making the money they need to get unemployment, but no, it's your fault. It's your fault because you don't know how to take care of things. You are so disorganized, EDD, that you have people waiting basically 2 hours just to talk to somebody like a specialist to try to sort this thing out, only for them to say, sorry, you're disqualified. 2 hours! The wait time in any scenario shouldn't even be 5 minutes. You should have enough people on call to answer the phone to figure out and help the people they're talking to figure out what's going on. But you don't even have the resources to do that. You don't. You have an automatic voice coming on and basically taking their time before you can finally get to the options to try to hopefully talk to somebody. Only then for those options to basically be chosen, and then that voice to come back on and say, I'm sorry, we have too many calls right now to handle. We'll try back later. Bye. EDD, you have no one to blame but yourself. You need to hire more people to handle this. Because if you don't, it's not just going to be the people that rely on you for support, for financial support, but it's going to be the government themselves. And the government themselves has already questioned your credibility, and they're going to do more so in the future because you don't care about these folks. You don't care whether or not we have bills to pay, children to feed. You don't care as long as your pocket's aligned. You know what, EDD? I hope and pray you get your act together. I hope you do. Because it shouldn't take months, if not a year, for millions of EDD claims, unemployment claims, inaugural ones at that, to be sorted out and filed. It shouldn't take that long, EDD. It shouldn't. So I'm telling you this right now. EDD. Get your act together. Get it together. Because people like me, we rely on you to help us out. We don't rely on you to have people tell us as if they don't care. And this second lady I talked to sounded like she didn't give a damn. We don't need people telling us, oh, you're disqualified. And there's nothing you can do. Bullshit on that. So you know what? EDD? I hope karma comes back to bite you guys. I hope for two things. I hope either you get your act together or karma comes back to bite you. And when that karma comes back to bite you, hopefully that'll wake you up and make you realize, oh crap, maybe we shouldn't have these stipulations in there. Maybe we should let these people know what's going on first and foremost before anything else happens. Because I'm telling you, EDD, I'm telling you right now, you're losing trust from everybody every second. And it's not just the common person like me. It's the government. It's businesses. So please, EDD, get your act together. But you know what? You know what, folks? Honestly, I'm not going to let this bug me. I'm not going to let this bug me at all. Yeah, I'm going to let my mom know later when she calls. But you know what? I'm not going to let it bug me. Because God's taking care of me. And just after I got that news, you know what's funny? As soon as after I got that news, I saw a hummingbird floating outside. And my mom always tells me that's a sign, for not just from her mom, my grandmother, watching from heaven, but it's a sign from God that things are going to be all right. And they will be. But EDD, get your act together. Because I know I'm not the only one that's probably watching this video that's dealing with this kind of stuff right now. Dealing with this BS. Because EDD, you don't know how to get yourself organized. And it's time you do. But right now, I'm not going to worry about that because God's taking care of me. He sent me a sign. Thank you, my Lord, my Savior, and my grandmother. Thank you for sending that sign because that's a sign that things are going to be fine. Things are going to be all right. But EDD, get your act together. Because what you're pulling right now, It's not going to make your future. It's not going to look good if you keep this up. Because you know what's going to happen? The future, as far as every state government is concerned, is going to look bleak. Because what those state governments are going to do is they're going to take power away from you if you don't get your act together. And that's all anybody's asking, EDD. And it's also, get people that genuinely care. Genuinely care. Get people that really care for the people they talk to. And not people that don't give a damn. But really, folks, that's all I'm going to say right now. I had to do this rant to get it off my chest. Because I know each and every one of you that's watching have been through this or know somebody that's going through this. And all I'm going to say is don't rely on EDD that much right now. Rely on your Lord and Savior. Rely on the signs that He gives you that things are going to be alright, because that's what I got afterwards. But EDD, get your act together. Because if you don't, I don't think the state governments or even the federal government's going to tolerate your mishandling and your misorganization any longer. And that's not me just saying that out of ranting or ventiness. I'm saying that because I could see something like that happening. But let me know what you guys' thoughts are. Comment down below. Check out the Teespring store. I would really appreciate that now if you guys could check out the Teespring store and look into some merchandise, purchase some stuff there. As well as check me out on Patreon at Brian Walmer BW Roses. Help support me there now, folks. I really would appreciate that. As well, check me out at BW Roses Discussions on all your favorite podcast locations except for Pandora. As well as check me out at BW Roses Vimeo for videos and stuff you can't get here due to copyright reasons. But really, guys, I just had to get this off my chest. Let me know what your thoughts are, and I'm out. I'll talk to you later.